Hello, this is Jordan from the Too Many Words Podcast, also known as Panda, coming at you with another disclaimer today. Just keep in mind this is a Halloween episode, so this is going to be kind of spooky stuff. At the end, we talk about serial killers and some of the things that they've done, and like how they did it. So if you're not into that, or if you're a little squeamish, you may want to skip that part. It's closer to the end. Starts right about at 35 minutes. Just yeah, if you're too squeamish, just skip it. It's fine. We won't be upset or we won't judge you or anything. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this episode. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the Too Many Words triple header episode. This is the 10th first double digits episode for the Too Many Words podcast. As you guys know, it is 9:35 Tuesday, October 18th. But for you guys, it's the 29th. It's spooky season, spooky weekend, and that's why this is the Halloween special, and also the first season finale. Don't worry, we record every week. It's just a condensing into data kind of.
It's a background reason.
Yeah.
Why we're doing that.
Hey, man, it's the Halloween special. Things are special.
Oh yeah.
All right, and I am your co-host Isaac William Joseph, along with the just as beautiful Just Jordan. We have a guest in studio today, the self-promoting Nate Baysinger, spelled exactly how it sounds. The reason I say that is because you should be taking your ass straight to his Spotify page right after this episode.
Yes, he is a singer.
Yeah. Sup?
Sup?
Yeah, what up?
All right, after a few short announcements, we're going to go a little bit more in depth on Nate Baysinger and what he's here for. Other than that, as you guys know, we have an Instagram at Too Many Words Podcast. We will keep on promoting that at the front of the episode until we get 100 followers. Podcast news still recently available on Google and Apple Podcasts. And a new thing that I did recently, by the time you guys are hearing this, it's been a couple weeks, maybe just a week and a half, since Isaac narrates a bonus monthly episode that is completely free to you guys. Okay, take a look at the Spotify episodes list, Apple Podcast episode, Google Podcast episode list. All right, I do my first attempt at some audiobook style stuff. I read my paper on social media. That's all I'm going to really dive into that one for, okay? If you're interested, you're already hooked, baby girl. Anyways, as website, the scaldstone.com news, I've put up staff bios. Jordan, our pretty faces are on the front page of this website now. And we have a bio button. What you watching the... All right. We have a bio button under each of our things. Only my bio button works because I have not made a bio for you because I needed to be by you. But after this episode, I can show you the template that I have made and you can follow accordingly. So by the time you guys hear this, both of those bios should be up. Who's really looking at the website anyways? Yeah. Nate, introduce yourself a little bit, bud.
Cool. So that guy out. Yeah, well, as you said, my name's Nate Baysinger. Yeah, I do music. Yeah, I guess I don't know. What do you want to know?
Nate, actually, dude. So a couple, maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, you posted an update video.
Yep.
Okay. Thing I noticed. Did you get a hype flag in the back? Dude,
yeah.
It's got his logo on a flag in the back, and that's exactly what we want to do for a background for when we start recording a little bit further in the future.
Yeah. It was for my first song Genesis. When I released that, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and with a merch drop and all that kind of stuff, I decided to give out like 3 or 4 flags, special. Well, I kept one of them, and it's always been up above that. And I realized when I wanted to make that update video, I mean, why not just be right up in front of it, and it just it looked cool. It looked good. I'm proud of that.
It does look great. We actually are doing a special giveaway here on our podcast. We'll mention that later in the episode, though.
So why not plug it now?
Plug in now?
Yeah, why not? I don't see any reason why not.
All right, Nate. We are going to give away 10 T-shirts with the podcast on it. It's a black T-shirt. It's going to have the Too Many Words logo on the back. It's going to have our mascot, the Alphamus, symbol of my creativity on the front. It's going to say Triple Crown. Jordan, what does Triple Crown mean, baby girl?
Triple Crown means you follow us on Spotify, so you're subscribed to us on YouTube, and you follow us on Instagram. There you go.
Sweet. Yeah, and all you got to do to get the T-shirt is 3 screenshots of each of those social medias proving that you are following and subscribed. The email is at
Too Many Words Podcast
at gmail.com, baby girl. And those 3 pictures. Add your name, add your shirt size, and we want to get this to you. So your mailing address. All right. That was a little bit of an unexpected self-advertisement, Nate. Sorry about that, but I actually was really interested in this updated video. After listening to your video, you said, my second single. I'm like, I completely forgot he released a freaking single in the first place. And so I did listen to Genesis.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know why I was surprised that you didn't, there was no lyrics in the song, but that's some pretty heavy, hardcore elevator music. But yeah, it was pretty sexy, honestly. Yeah. I'm like, this is like some video game background music.
Your guitar skills are actually...
dude.
I appreciate that, man.
That's definitely that. Like, you want my fucking resume? Spotify. Go to Spotify. You want me to be your lead guitarist or your bassist? Go Spotify.
Ever since I friended you on Facebook, I've been seeing your updates, and it's good. It's real good.
I appreciate that, yeah.
As a rock fan. Oh, my goodness.
But by the time this episode comes out, your newest single will be out for about 48 hours at that point.
Oh, really?
So tell us about this new song, brother.
So my new single, Breaking Point, is going to be out October 27th. This finally got the merch in. This is what it's going to be looking like. Just says Breaking Point. It's got the album cover on the front. It doesn't have anything on the back because that was just too much work for me. This one does have vocals. That was the first question that a lot of people had. Where's Genesis was good, but like, where's the vocals? And I'm like, all right, fine, So I kind of worked a little bit to get some vocals, and it's gonna be good. The song is essentially just me going through life and finding this, kind of pent up a little bit on some stuff, and just kind of to a point where I just need to release, that energy or, that anger, whatever it is, obviously in a healthy and respective way. So yeah, it's nice, it's heavy, it's good. This is, I guess I haven't said this part. This is one of 3 singles that I will be releasing for till the end of the year. So by the end of the year, I'll have 3 more singles, including Breaking Point out. Really? So that's all.
I'm excited.
That's all I'm gonna give on that.
Sounds like he's releasing a Christmas song.
So, absolutely, yeah. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Also something else. A lot of people were asking about why there was such a big break between Genesis and Breaking Point, and
it takes a long time to make music.
It does, and one side is there's a lot of personal stuff going on. If you're close to me, you kind of know that there was some stuff, there were some demons, there were some battles that I was going through. But as every time, you make it through, and it's good. And the other thing is just the creative aspect is, this song, Breaking Point, I had, I guess, written down on paper for, I would say, about 3 months. But just the fact of, like, I want to add this, I want to take this away, and that kind of stuff, dude, that stuff just kills you. Because, like, you'll go to bed, be like, yeah, this is it, this is what I'm going to release, and then you're like, maybe I should just add this. And so it's finally coming to the point of, okay, this is it. I need to be okay with this, and this is what it needs to be. This is what it is going to be at that point. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, let's point out that he might have not released Breaking Point until he experienced those things in between each of these songs. Like, I know for a fact, having a creative product out of stuff that you've just been dealing with. I also can relate on writer's block. Writer's block is a real thing, honestly. It's like, is this any good? Are people going to like this? So I assume a lot of that explanation is the reason why you called it Breaking Point, right?
Yeah. It was kind of just, it was an idea of, there's a couple sides to it. The first side is obviously, just in my life, there was just a lot going on. 2021, 2020, obviously you had COVID. I lost a lot of good people in my life.
Oh, yeah.
I personally messed up a lot of relationships. I kind of, hit rock bottom and all that kind of stuff. And Breaking Point essentially just explains that I'm not going to let this be the excuse. I'm going to let this be the inspiration kind of for going forward and moving forward. So, yeah, that's, it's hard. And I'm not going to sit here and, be a pity party for everybody, but...
Oh, dude.
It was good. It was good to kind of get everything out for that.
He was holding the cord, and I was like, why are you doing that?
I'm holding the cord up because it keeps on rubbing against my jacket. I feel like I need to take off my jacket. But I keep on telling myself, it's the Halloween special. We're going to change into costumes at some point. Oh, yeah. Something we failed to discuss is when we were going to do that, but...
That's all right. I figured we would just do it at, like, the 20-minute mark.
At the 20-minute mark?
Or for the first one, at least.
But I will say, Baysinger ain't no freaking phony, dudes.
Oh, no.
Okay?
God,
he
no.
was at the 3 Days Grace Wage War concert.
That's right.
At the same time as we were.
I completely forgot about that.
I'm looking at this mosh pit that's behind me, and all of a sudden I see the beefy, bearded Nate Baysinger. I'm like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
That was pretty dope seeing you there, actually. I was like, dude, that's dope.
Yeah, because I know 3 Days Grace is one of your favorite bands, Isaac.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's got a Wage War hat on right now.
I do.
I thought I recognized that hat, but I couldn't tell what from.
Hey, man, it says Wage War on the side of his head.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
That'll probably give
I saw
it away.
the logo on the front.
Yeah, so I got me and my dad tickets because Wage War is one of our favorite bands.
Wage War is pretty dope.
And I got us tickets, and then I ended up getting into the pit. And then I saw, Dingle Nut over here, just up front, just like psyched up. And I'm like, this guy's here for 3 Days Grace. Absolutely. And, but dude, that was a good show.
It was.
That was a good show.
Dude, that was the first thing that I wrote on my, on thescaldstone.com. That night was so inspiring, dude. That will forever be. I told Jordan, that night, I finally get it when people say, I could die right now and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
That satisfying finale, yeah.
It was good. It was good. That was just a good set list. When Wage War is, I don't know, just not to get too into, but just like the production of Wage War, I love those guys so much. And if you listen to anything that I put out, you will hear Wage War. And just like throughout the entire thing, they're definitely one of the best bands out there, one of the best metalcore bands out there.
Ever since that concert, I did follow them on Instagram. They have, I think they have a song on the new NHL game playlist.
Yeah, Manic.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so good. And then obviously just 3 Days Grace. Those guys can put on a show. Mm-hmm. Those guys can put on a show, and they sound just as good live as they do on the albums.
Honestly, that's something I can agree with.
Which is hard. That's hard to do in this day and age. It's very difficult.
Nobody can sound like Adam, but I'm damn happy with Matt.
I think...
Okay, who's better? Who's better? Let's have this conversation.
You can't say that. I'm not saying that publicly.
This is something me and Isaac have actually discussed previously. I think they're both equally as good for different reasons.
Yeah, yes. we actually have had discussions about how they're both unique. They both bring something different to the table, and they're with the new lead singer. They are basically making completely different. Not different genre,
I wouldn't say completely different.
but they're making a different vibe of music.
They're branching out. Yeah, they're being a little bit more experimental.
But I love old 3 Days Grace. I love new 3 Days Grace.
Yeah,
I think
I love it.
like a song with both Matt and Adam on it would be phenomenal. Like, holy cow, that would make.
Hey man, Blink 182. There's enough time for everything, you know.
Dude, I saw that. They're like, Blink 182 reunites, releases a song, and releases tour dates, and I'm like, wow. All right.
Me and Isaac were actually talking about that. We're seriously considering going to that one too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have until March next year. So
Yeah.
It's not in Iowa, but
Chicago, but
Yeah.
I mean, those are three guys that changed the world. Those are three guys that changed like the face of music. Whether it's pop punk, whether it's Travis Barker, whether you like him or not, what he's done with like rappers and that kind of stuff, he is top 10, maybe top 5 most influential drummers of all time. Mm-hmm. This dude gets behind the kit, and the stuff he does for Blink 182 is just a fraction of what this guy can do. It's ridiculous. I love it so much. He's awesome. But yeah,
I have just learned that you know a lot more about music than I do.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, it wasn't until recently that I actually knew every band member to my favorite band of all time. I'm just not really into the details of all that. Like, only recently did I start remembering, like, directors' names for, like, movies and stuff. Like, I don't really know the names behind titles, right? And I've been familiarizing myself with the details a lot lately when it comes to entertainment. And, Barry Stock. I finally know the name to my favorite guitarist. That guy's a legend.
He is a legend. He's pretty good, too.
But, Nate, I wanted to make it a point that we obviously met before high school.
Yes.
But the earliest clear memory I have of you is I'm a freshman, you are an 8th grader, and you're over at the high school to do show choir for the high schoolers. This guy was dating a girl. I'm not going to say her name. This guy was dating a girl. This was like Nate and I's first time in a while of seeing each other. And he's just giving me all these updates. Now he has a girlfriend. Super nice ass. He said that so many times that night. He's like, bro, she's got an ass for days.
That's great. That's great.
And, I just...
Hey, when you got it flaunted, babe.
I guess when you're an 8th grader?
I suppose that's true.
I guess I don't.
I mean, at DCG, all the 8th graders were just horny all the time, so...
I guess, yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, you're just finding out what puberty is. And all that I don't know. I was a mess. I'm going to be honest with you. Middle school, high school, that is all a blur for me.
Hey, man.
It is.
Honestly, Nate, I think there are a lot of things that we have in common when it comes to our post-high school journey and maybe even just late high school journey. I remember working with you at High V, and you were talking about joining this local band, and you're like, I don't gotta go to college. I could leave high school early. I could travel with this band, bro. Man. My dad says it's okay. And dude, you were so happy about it, and I was hoping that you would land it, but
yeah, should we speak on that a little bit?
I didn't know if there was any bad blood, so no, I was like gambling there, but yeah.
Not. So for those who don't know, I was in a little band. Believe it was 2017 to 2018. This little band turned out to be Vended. For those who don't know, that's Simon Cran, Griffin Taylor, Jeremiah,
right. I remember
aka that. JJ, my boy, and Cole Espeland. And I mean, when I tell you that these guys are like on the come up, it's actually ridiculous. These guys,
for the older listeners,
it's insane.
For the older listeners, these are the children of Slipknot, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of their spawns just came together and made a band, and Nate was involved in that. And our boy Jeremiah, we're kicking it, just came back from a freaking Europe tour. Oh, dude.
Yeah, Jeremiah is... Yeah, I love that guy so much. I was blessed enough to actually go see these guys at 8035.
I saw you posted that scene.
And because I hadn't seen these guys, I mean, since they started doing live shows. And dude, when I tell you these guys like blow up the stage. Everybody's stage presence is incredible. Like obviously Griffin being the front man, like this dude's got energy. Okay,
Dude's an animal.
Dude, you look at JJ. This dude is jumping around, throwing his bass around. You look at just everybody on stage going crazy. You look at Simon behind the drummer. Dude, Simon. Okay, I just gotta talk about this real quick.
Okay,
Simon Cran. Okay, you are one of the best drummers I've ever met. Hands down. You like back when we were jamming, he was just the things that he was doing and the things that he was capable of at his age just blew my mind, and that gave me the confidence. That gave me all the confidence I needed that, you know, whether I make it or whether I don't make it, this guy right here, this guy's going to make it. He's incredible. He's absolutely incredible. Like the talent in that band is just
phenomenal,
immeasurable.
It is awesome.
It's ridiculous
seeing them succeed. Like I have not familiarized myself with anybody too much beside my boy Jeremiah, because I love that kid. I love that kid so much. He was so cool. He was very supportive in high school, and I wish nothing but the best for him.
No, yeah, but go. Whatever. Go follow all the band. Go follow Vended.
Yeah, Vended.
These guys, go stream their music. I know that this is kind of about me, which rightfully so. Everything's about me, but go follow those guys and just go watch their journey.
We'll probably plug them later. I think I can get Jeremiah in the booth one day.
That would be insane.
I think I can.
Sweet. That'd be sweet.
Last time I saw Jeremiah, I was a cashier at Walgreens. He was getting some food. He was still working at Quality Manufacturing for like $15 an hour, bro. The distances that we're all trying to make, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Especially like we're all just trying to be in a creative field of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I hear, we got some pretty good numbers to talk about this week for our podcast. So.
For Anchor?
Just, yeah.
Honestly,
all of our stats.
A pretty all right spike. Really good, honestly.
We'll talk
really
about
happy.
that at the
It's
end.
not insane, okay? It's nowhere close to viral, but it makes me smile, you know.
Who do you want to go first?
I was about to get into that. All right, we're gonna change into our Halloween costumes that we bought for each other. Honestly, Jordan, from what I bought, you could probably open it and put it on in here.
Really?
Yeah.
So
And I put.
You want me to go first?
I put something that I own in here.
Really?
So you will give me that afterward. But it adds character to what I got you. Here you go, buddy.
I don't know. I'm nervous.
I'd like to put on the record that I have no idea what's going on right now.
I feel like you're going to be disappointed.
What? Wait a second.
I got you a mullet wig.
What is this just a t-shirt?
No, it's a workman shirt. You'll see it.
This is sunglasses. Spread those.
Read it.
Is this in and out deep pipe section?
It's a lubrication expert shirt.
What in the Kentucky Fried Fuck?
Put it on, baby. Get that mullet on afterward, and you gotta put them
Mine
shades
is
on as
definitely
well.
more involved than this. I want you to know that.
Oh my gosh.
Mine's more involved than this.
Yeah?
Yeah. You're gonna love yours.
What do you mean by involved?
There's a lot more to it.
Like related to the podcast?
No, just to put on.
Oh, so I'll have to get naked and leave and stuff, right?
Quite
I'll
possibly.
leave before I get naked, though.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you kind of want to have guest retention here, so
This smells
it's not
weird.
good if I get naked in front of the guests.
Yeah.
Even fit
But hey, while Jordan's getting that on, dude, I do want to
It's
tap
sleeveless.
on. So you're gonna launch a merch line, dude. From my perspective, that is so intimidating and complicated.
This
You
does
have
not
some
fit.
sort of organization to this?
But we'll
Yeah,
figure it
yeah.
out.
So I got there's a guy from work. His dad, he runs a pressing company,
Oh, this
And,
guy got connects.
and through him, that's where I did my first Genesis drop, and that's where I'm gonna end up doing Breaking Point drop as well. I will say for all
This
the
looks
singles, there probably won't be merch for every single. but since this is kind of like my second song in like a year and a half, I'm like, okay, I probably should like, do something. And, I wouldn't do it if people weren't interested. And the support through that is just incredible. So, yeah.
Honestly, I love the hoodie, bro. One of my favorite color combinations is actually not a color combination at all. It's like this glossy black with this fabric black that I really I think it really pops, and I really
don't know
like
how it looks.
How much
But
is
I
this
feel like
hoodie
it's
that you got on right now?
This hoodie,
How much can I get it for?
how much can you get it for?
I feel like that should be discussed off camera.
$60.
$60. So I still have yet to figure out prices and all that kind of stuff.
Bro, after this, send me details.
Yeah.
I'll do a merch shout out in a future
Okay.
episode. Okay?
Yeah.
Just for you, baby girl.
Yeah, it's gonna be somewhere around probably $40-$45. I don't
look
make
awful, don't I?
I don't make any merch.
You gotta take a picture of me.
any money off of the merch. I just say that right now. It's
No
all,
money off of merch.
No, absolutely not.
Unheard of.
It's all just kind of for exposure. Like I'll have people, text me or something. They'll be like, hey, somebody saw my sweatshirt and they loved it or something, and that is worth more to me than 15 extra.
Honestly,
bucks.
at the beginner stage, yeah, we're gonna love that feeling as well.
Yeah,
I might ask you for that guy's number in the future.
Yeah, I'll get you.
When I feel like finally launching a merch line for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Are we going to talk about Fred Durst over here? Bro, what are you doing?
Okay, so
Fred
the way
Durst?
I
What
see
are
it,
you doing?
Joe, Jordan,
Dude.
you know Joe Dirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Billy Manure. Okay? You're the lubrication expert, Billy Manure, at the In-N-Out laying pipe and stuff,
Oh, my
Okay, so the reason why, okay, Jordan, I did not have enough time to order something online. I go...
How much did you spend on this?
That was like $30, and the wig was $20.
Really?
Yeah, it's very overpriced at Spirit Halloween. But I will say, we have a couple friends at Spirit Halloween. I walk in like a week and a half ago. I'm like, okay, where's your like 3X stuff? And Jackie's like, we don't have anything in that size. We have like, I don't know, plus size. It's called plus size or something like that. And yeah, if we had come up with this idea maybe like 1 or 2 weeks prior, I would have definitely gotten you like a more in-depth full costume. But tonight you're Billy Manure. I'm definitely gonna try better next Halloween.
I bought mine today, and mine's more involved than this.
Well, I'm a smaller person, okay? I'm sorry. I did find one that was like your size, but I'm like, that looks stupid. I found it at like a thrift store. You were going to be dressed up as a nerd.
Right.
That's like, a button-down white shirt and then corduroy pants that were up too high and
That's a
stuff like
classic.
that.
It's a classic.
But sorry we didn't have you to put on anything, but I wanted you to advertise what you got on.
I feel like this was supposed to be more of a bit at you as well, so like I didn't want to get you.
Oh no, dude. Yeah, if we talked about it, I would have been down. It's fine.
Okay.
I can't see
Jordan, where's my costume?
Oh no.
Oh, is it time for you? I figured we were going to do more intervals, but this is
very
uncomfortable. I want you to know that. Like I said, you have to move down.
You didn't have to
Don't
button
worry,
the shirt.
The bed is cleaned. It's just
It's been kissed by the dog's assholes.
Well,
no.
that's something.
There you go.
Oh, good lord.
All right. Well,
this is about to be a really
Jordan, while I go
weird
and change
podcast.
into this, I would like to talk. Okay, so we're gonna make it a little bit spookier subjects. Jordan has only seen a small handful of scary movies. So
Oh,
before
man.
we get into the true crime stuff, Jordan is gonna elaborate on the only scary movies. he's seen.
Please. Oh, dude, horror movies, scary movies.
I hate them.
All that stuff. Dude, that's my jam.
I
I
can't.
love that stuff. I love
I
that
don't-
stuff.
It's not my thing. So it's very limited. I've seen all of the scary movie poof
Yeah.
parody movies.
Yep.
Those are Those are funny.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to watch those because like they were still too scary for me when I was like 12.
Yeah.
You know? I've seen a movie called It Follows. That was actually really fucking good.
That one's good.
That's my favorite, but mostly probably because I've only seen like 7 at most. Probably less than that because I can't think of any other ones. But you know, why don't you talk about some of the ones you've seen?
Oh, dude. I mean, where does it? I mean, like I don't know. Do you want like my top 3?
Yeah, go for it.
Top 3 horror movies. I would probably say The Exorcist. Just because it's a classic.
That is a classic.
I would say. Oh, there's a new one on Netflix. It's called Cantation, and it's a Thailand horror movie, and essentially it goes through like sacrifices and like I don't know, a lot of weird stuff. It's weird, it's creepy, but I think the place where that like crosses a line more than others is it gets into like child sacrifice and all that kind of stuff, and everybody's like, oh, that's kind of we don't talk about that, and I'm like, that's kind of funny. And
I think he just fell or something.
Yeah, it sounds like he's dying. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I would say number 1 is probably, I don't know, Friday the 13th, only because
that's a classic. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was the first kind of dip that I got into the horror scene. It was Jason, it was Freddy, it was Scream, it was all those, you know, all those classic 70s and 80s horror movies. I didn't even say it. So Saw, the Saw franchise. Mm-hmm. Those are I guess that's my favorite franchise.
The day I moved out all of my Bibles, I could have came back in with a Bible.
Good Lord.
Didn't it come with one?
No.
Did you do the neck thing?
Yeah.
All right,
so
I feel like I'm on a confessional.
So for people who are just listening right now, for people who are just listening right now, Jordan is wearing a lubrication expert T-shirt and a mullet.
That does not fit.
I should have made you shave your head.
No.
But and I'm currently dressed as a priest.
Oh, there we go.
I feel
a lot of people would be so proud of me that I've made it to be a priest.
Oh man, this is man, I can't believe we're here. Wow. Okay.
All right.
We're only 40 minutes in, baby.
So how many scary movies have you seen ever?
We talked about 2.
So you talked about It Follows. I heard that, and then you talked about what?
The scary movie parody movies.
Oh, is that all that you've seen?
I want to say yes, but there's probably more. I've seen War of the Worlds. Does that count?
I've never even seen that, so I don't know.
Nah.
Jurassic Park. Do those count?
That's a kid's scary
horror
movie.
movies.
Like the original ones.
That's like scary if you're like 6, and even then, a 6-year-old's like dinosaur.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty. Jurassic Park 3 was pretty scary to me when I was 7.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
Moving on.
Yeah, we'll go moving on.
All right. Nate, he was asking his folks what we were going to talk about as subjects for the podcast, and I'm like, bro, it's spooky season. It's the Halloween special.
Yeah.
We going to talk about serial killers.
Oh, that's right.
Oh man,
What's the most
freaky shit?
interesting serial killer to make?
I mean,
Baysinger?
they just came out with the new Dahmer fucking series.
Dude, it is so weird. Like, I mean, everything that Dahmer did was like, you see that on paper and you're just like, this is disgusting. Like, this is weird. This is horrific. And I'm scrolling on TikTok at like 3 a.m, like you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, there's these teenage girls like sexualizing Dahmer, like, oh, like the way he dances, oh, the way he looks. This man has a dismembered body in the corner, and you're saying, oh, look at his moves. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here.
I am so glad that you're taking that turn for it.
Bro.
Right now I'm in college. I'm writing a paper about how unnecessary this show is, okay? You know how many times that film or media in general has come out with the story of Jeffrey Dahmer, we're no longer learning about Jeffrey Dahmer. It's no longer informational. It's entertainment that's under the slasher section on Netflix. And it's dehumanizing a little bit.
It's weird. It's weird because you see these stories about like the victims like speaking out about how good of an acting job. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but how
something Peters.
Aaron Peters.
Was it Aaron Peters? People are saying like how good of a job he did of depicting Dahmer. That
he did a good job.
That
he's a good actor.
The victims' families are like upset about it because it reminds them so much.
For me, it's Quicksilver.
And if you see like side by side, what actually happened, like the actual court films and like what they depicted in the show, it's very similar. And if you were traumatized by that and you were going through that, I assume that'd be pretty sucky to go through.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say that the families of victims aren't horror fans at all anyways. With that said, the difference between what this smut is and what real true crime is a more of a focus on the why, and then it adds the how right afterward, right? Like a lot of these serial killers were repressing being gay or came from a legalistic religious upbringing. There's a difference between a healthy religious upbringing and a legalistic religious upbringing. And I have a pastor that will talk for days on that. But yeah, I feel like it barely taps into that. I think it if you learn anything about this series, I think it's more so pointing out, the dad's a cheating dick. Are you laughing at my priest outfit right now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then the mom is unreliable as all hell, but it really taps on the police, just sucking ass. But what? So like, do you have like a specific serial killer that you that intrigues you?
So yes, so ever since like high school and like I was getting into like horror stuff and real life crime and that kind of stuff. Charles Manson, he always fascinated me in the way that he never killed anybody, but he got all the time. And just
who?
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson.
So like just seeing the way that he acted and seeing how he was pressing all of these women to, literally go into houses, slaughter a family, right helter-skelter with blood on the wall, and then leave like nothing happened. It is mind-boggling. And I have the Charles Manson tapes or whatever, Charles Manson letters or whatever. I love the psychology behind like serial killers and that kind of stuff. There's a Netflix thing called I Am a Killer, and it pretty much goes through death row, and it talks about all the death row inmates and who they killed and why they killed them and all that kind of stuff. And you see it from the perspective of a murderer, Jesus Christ, which is that's something I don't think people want to talk about. People want to see a killer and then just throw him away. People don't want to hear that other side.
We should
have
have really just put a disclaimer at the beginning of this episode. I'm sorry.
About?
To the viewers.
We can put that in editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
The worst has yet to be said because I have a serial killer to talk to you guys that I know is not very well known.
Oh, great. But yeah, I love the psychology.
It's
behind
interesting,
that kind
man.
of stuff. It's fascinating. I'm not gonna say it's good and like, I want to follow in the footsteps, obviously. But it's fascinating from like a mental standpoint, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, what?
So can we just agree that the 70s and 80s were just fucking wild? riddled with serial killers. I tell my mom, it's insane that you and my grandma are alive today. It is insane. The amount of just people just going around and killing, and the cops just not giving a shit, you know? So in the 80s, the early 80s in Houston, Texas, there was this man named Dean Coral, okay? He, too, was repressing being gay, or at least a mother that was very much denying his obviously gay son. But the problem wasn't that he was gay. The problem was he liked little boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a problem.
He and Elmer Henley and David Brooks. David Brooks and Elmer Henley were like his two henchmen that were like late teens, right? And they would lure his victims to Dean because they would give him this literal deal with the devil, bro. I'll give you $200 for each guy that you can lure to my basement. And they did. See, what Dean did with David Brooks was put him in something that is called golden handcuffs. He bought him his favorite car when he was a kid. And he bought him all these cool clothes and food and gave him a lot of money. And it's a very effective manipulative tactic to buy someone nice things. They will do things for you. But with bodies being found as recently as 2018, so far, Dean Coral has come up with 29 victims. And it is just crazy.
That's the other weird part about like serial killers. They'll be like, oh yeah, like 15 confirmed kills, and then like asterisk, there's believed to be like 300 victims, and you're just like, what? How did we get there? Like, how did that happen? That's weird.
Yeah. So what allowed him to be doing this for so long was that almost all of these victims, their family would go report it because that was like super suspicious, and these lazy ass Houston cops, there's a runaway. He's a runaway. Oh, he's a runaway. And eventually, what had got him in was Elmer Henley was just sick of his shit and turned on him and shot him, killed him. And then Elmer Henley and David Brooks told the police what had happened, showed them where various bodies were hidden, and now they are in jail for life. They're actually around my grandma's age, and they're still in jail right now.
Yeah, good. All right, let's have a debate. What's worse, life in prison or the death sentence?
I think
death sentence. I don't agree with the death sentence personally, but that gets into political beliefs.
This was actually almost a topic in my composition class a couple weeks ago.
This was in mine when I did stuff. So
I think you should see. So, like, you have a douchebag, heinous crime committer, right? You pick up with maybe just a couple months of prison, see if they're okay with prison, that they're thankful that they didn't get the death penalty, or they wish they had the death penalty because being in prison the rest of their lives with people that are going to attack him for what he did. So what you do is analyze him and see which is worse in his opinion. And then you pick the worst thing. Because it's different from person to person. There are actual horrible serial killers that are thanking God, whatever that is to them, that they get to watch TV every single day because they're in prison. Yeah. And then there was serial killers that would rather go out, and they went out silently because they're like, yeah, take me out. John Wayne Gacy, he's like, give me a bucket of chicken, that's my last meal, Yeah. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I think life in prison is going to be worse. Mainly because, number one, if I go and I kill 10 people, I have to live with that for the rest of my life, right? And eventually, like, the guilt's gonna set in, and then I gotta live with all that and whatever. But I mean, you look at I haven't researched Dahmer too much, but he did not get the death penalty, correct? He got like 900 years or 400 years or something.
He didn't live too long in prison.
Well, no, and why is that? Why is that?
A guy that he was supposed to clean the bathroom with, he had his back turned. He got hit in the back of the head with like a steel pipe or something like that.
Exactly, and I guarantee you, the death that he suffered is worse than anything that the death penalty could have offered.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, yeah.
Like, I think, you know, getting stabbed to death, you know, getting beat to death, whatever like that, something that an inmate is going to put on you, I think is going to be worse. Because the idea of the death sentence and the death penalty is like a humane death for somebody who maybe shouldn't have something so humanely. Yeah. And it's weird. It's weird. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's weird that they get to pick whatever the hell they want to eat for their last meal.
I don't think that's weird.
I would love government officials to go and scurry up the things that I want to have for a meal, but I definitely don't want to be on death row, you know?
Yeah, there was an interview with the chef who did the death row stuff, and he's like, my job is pointless. It's like, you know, in 24 to 48 hours, everything I do in this kitchen is just going to be decomposition in a dead body.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm just like, wow. I mean, you know, at least he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, and okay.
Makes you wonder how good the cooks are, though.
I mean,
like at a state penitentiary.
What would you guys have last meal? What would you
last
have?
meal?
Last meal.
Ooh. There's definitely sushi in there.
Bro, why?
I love sushi. I love sushi so much.
That alone should give you the death sentence.
Hey, you cannot have too much or too little. That's what I know about the last meal.
Dude, I just...
What would you have in your last meal?
Probably going back to a previous episode, and the chicken marinara, with the chicken and the marinara sauce and the noodles.
Man, you guys are
chicken parmesan.
What would you want?
You guys can have anything and everything you want.
Have you seen I would have an itemized list. I promise.
Yeah, have you guys seen the list? I can't remember who it was, but this dude had like
everything.
Like he didn't eat, like he barely made a dent in it, but he had like all this food. Like for
lobster.
Dude, I'm doing a steak. Mm-hmm. I'm doing a tuna steak.
You don't gotta watch your weight anymore, bro.
Dude, you know? I'm doing anything and everything. I'm gonna make these guys drive to the nearest Culver's and get me some freaking cheese curds. You understand that? Like, look, if I'm gonna die, at least let my last moments be happy, right? So, no, dude, I would make it as inconvenient as possible, just to buy me some time, right? There
was this other guy, I forgot who, but he wanted one pit of an olive.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he didn't even eat it. Crazy.
Yeah. There was one guy who wanted the core of an apple because it had enough cyanide to kill him. And he was an idiot, and he said that. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to give you apple slices.
What's a food that I've always wanted to try, still have yet to do it? A real Wagyu steak. Yeah. I think that would be
from
on
Japan.
the list.
That would at least buy an extra day or two.
Yeah, that
would. They would definitely just make a New York strip.
Yeah,
put it down in front of you.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah. Put it down. It's just it's literal roadkill. It's just like a dead raccoon. I'm like, hey, yo, this Wagyu. And what is Wagyu? Was that the raccoon's name? What is that? And then, they just put it down on the table, give you a double bird, and then just leave. Yeah.
That's great.
I feel like that happened. That definitely
Did you ever get to mention a favorite scary movie in that conversation?
Yeah, we talked about 3. Well, the first one I ever, had exposure to was Friday the 13th, Jason.
Dude, that is okay. I did previously mention my favorite scary movie, but Friday the 13th has got to be my favorite franchise for when it comes to these Halloween movies, you know, and not the Halloween franchise, but these Halloween movies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Jason, I always rooted for him in the Freddy vs. Jason movies.
Yeah, bro, same. He won that. He won that. You can't tell me anything.
He was actually
he won that.
The first ever villain that I saw as a victim. And I had that mature thought at a very young age. And so, yeah, Jason Voorhees. Team
Still never seen a single one of those.
You should. Honestly, if you go back not too far, but far enough, scary movies aren't scary.
Yeah.
It's like, haha, look at that horrible special effects.
Yeah, the older ones are just kind of goofy.
If you go to the black and white ones, though, especially the silent films, those are super creepy.
Like the first ever zombie movie. I don't remember what it's called. It's like,
dude, I'm going to say this right now. This can be on the record, and I will go to the grave on this.
Hey, I'm your father right next to you.
I think
we'll go.
That made me so uncomfortable. I can't even put it into words. I think zombie movies are so overrated. I think that
I never understood that.
I can agree.
I think that they are.
But like, there are a select few that I absolutely
zombie video
love.
games, they're fun.
Like the first ever one, the Night of the Living Dead, or I think is what it was called.
Fine, cool. Past that, I mean, there's nothing really to
it was a fundamental for a lot of other reasons actually, because it did something new with film. I don't remember what it was though.
I think Zombieland
is
enjoyable.
Zombieland is good.
I mean, there's a couple.
That's a comedy movie.
There's a few decent ones.
See, Warm Bodies. That's not a scary movie, but that I actually adore that movie.
I had my nephew watch that movie.
Tyrion?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wanted to see a zombie movie. I'm like, sure. Warm Bodies is, I think, just fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, zombie movies, absolute waste of time, absolute waste of money. Personally.
Hot take.
I mean, they've been overdone at this point, so like I don't disagree, but like there's a select few that are worth it.
Yeah, unless somebody can come out with something new that hasn't already been done. I don't know.
I forgot to ask a question at the beginning of this episode.
What?
Do you watch podcasts or listen to podcasts?
Yeah.
I do.
What are your favorite podcasts? I think the answer to this gives the audience an idea on how you should conduct a podcast.
All right, so the number one, it's a bunch of YouTubers. It's called the Goons Podcast.
Okay,
and
I was expecting the Misfits again. Honestly,
that is it's 4 YouTubers. It's the Do, Soup, Blarg, and McNasty, and these are guys that like
I know Soup.
Hilarious. I mean, these dudes, like, I feel like my humor takes a lot from these 4 guys, which is kind of pathetic, but I mean, I'll listen to them. I'll listen to Misfits. Joe Rogan, obviously the best podcast in the world.
No, that's us. What are you talking about?
But
no, we're the second best.
Yeah, what's the first? Impulsive?
No, actually, I did look at the stats. It is Joe Rogan. He has the most traffic on his podcast.
Yeah, the amount of money.
Pardon My Take is up there too. A lot of other political stuff that I don't listen to.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, honestly, I'd rather have like the Goons. I'd rather watch them because they got a live thing. I'd rather watch and listen to them. Talk about like nothing and just have fun, make stupid noises and sex jokes or whatever. Then listen to like an hour and a half of somebody forcing their political beliefs down your throat. Personally, that's just me. It is what it is. Everybody's got their own thing, but
I think listening to political bicker, if you have that in your ears and you're listening to a podcast, I think that just brings you down, or it changes your mood. Yeah. I feel like, just like music, the vibe in a podcast can definitely change your mood.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's there's some good ones, there's some bad ones. I mean, I'm personally open to everything. Obviously, there are things that like I have zero tolerant for. Whether that's like racism, like hatred of like a race or whatever. So if somebody's gonna start speaking on that, like, oh my gosh, have you guys seen what Ye's been doing? Kanye West.
What's he up to?
Have you guys seen some of this? Dude, I love this man. Personally, he is incredibly influential for me as a musician. This man is off the deep end right now. Like, it is bad, okay? It is bad. Okay, somebody needs to take his Twitter key and just, like, swallow it, crap it out, and then flush it down the toilet. Like, it is not great. He was the one tweet I can think of is he tweeted out, he's like, hey, so I'm tired, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on all the Jews, or something like that. And dude, look, I try to like give people the benefit of the doubt, and especially somebody at like the level of Kanye.
Ain't gonna happen,
dude. There's only a level I can be like, yeah, he didn't mean that. But then he proceeds to go onto a podcast. I think it was like, I don't remember what it was. It was the one with Charlemagne. And he doubles down on the comments. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I guess we'll never know. So, yeah, I need to get that out of my system. Thank you.
All right. Nate, do you want to do you want to advertise yourself a little bit one more time before or after our closer?
I don't know, whatever's better.
I just want to say, I think Kanye West is the most powerful man in the world. Like, actually.
I think it's Elon, but yeah.
No. I think it's in a mental state sort of way.
Okay.
Kanye West is the most powerful man in the world. No one man should have
all that power.
I think he was singing about himself.
The clock's ticking.
He's insane. Like, he's the kind of guy. It's rare to find these men and women where they open their mouth and they talk and everybody in the entire world listens. Mm-hmm. Everybody puts you under a microscope, and I think that's what that's what Kanye is doing. And I think that there is a level of freedom of speech, absolutely, but at the same time, I think that with the status that he is at, I think that there is a little bit of responsibility that probably needs to be.
Oh yeah, when you have that much of an audience, you have to. I think
so. I think that probably needs to be put in check. Also, I hate that he keeps lying about his release dates. I can go on a rant on Kanye West, but I'm just gonna vibe.
All right, Nate, plug yourself one more time.
All right, so Breaking Point out October 27th. That's a Thursday. Yes, I know it's a Thursday. I have 3 more songs coming out. It's going to be good. It's going to be heavy, even if that's not your style. It would mean the world just to support me, just
give
to listen
some traffic,
to it.
Baby.
That just means, a lot to me. Buy some merch. I will be releasing a lot more details the closer it is, probably next week or later this week. There's going to be a lot more details on that. Thank you to these guys for having me on. I love it. These guys have been my buddies. Like you said.
You have an open invite, bro, to this podcast.
I appreciate that.
I met you through Hy-Vee. I saw a serious glow up. That was kind of insane.
It's a beard. Say it was a beard right now.
It was the beard.
It was a beard.
A little bit more than the beard, but
But yeah, I really appreciate you guys opening this platform up. For me to kind of come on and kind of wreck it for an hour. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right. Let's get into some closer stuff, bro. We got some meat and potatoes in the closer. So, like, if you want to, like, just shout yourself out, the most important details at the very, very, very end. So that's in their last thought process.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make that happen.
Real quick, I kind of want to put you on a spot. Have you listened to any of our previous episodes?
Yeah, bits and pieces of it. Yeah.
Obviously, you've probably seen our promos on Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You guys are doing great with it.
Hey, bro, here's how I work. I don't expect anybody to read my stuff. I don't expect anybody to listen to this. I didn't listen to the podcast until after I graduated, and even then, it wasn't even until recently that I listened to podcasts outside of work,
Yeah.
So I don't expect anybody to be much of a savvy podcast listener. But it's glad. I'm glad that everybody's just a little bit curious here and there about what we talk about.
Absolutely.
If you don't like one episode, go check out a different one. We talk about different stuff every week.
If you don't like the pizza ASMR, go check out a different episode.
So I'm really happy about these Anchor stats. We are at 149 plays.
That's a significant jump.
That is actually a pretty big jump, dude. Dude, we've been actually having a lot of recent traffic. Like 6 total plays that day, 6 total plays that day, 12 plays on my birthday. That counts as a birthday present.
Happy birthday, right?
Bro,
there.
that's sick. So our audience size jumped to 27.
Really?
27. That's our retention. Plays per episode is 12. But dude, legitimately, so happy. Good job, guys. Share with a friend the podcast. Look to your neighbor. Be like, hey, listen to these guys. They sound like idiots, but I promise they're a little bit smarter.
Share us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever you want to
Yeah,
share
yeah,
us
yeah,
on. Just please get us out there. That's all I ask.
It's like, hey guys, what's your at? And it's like, segue, perfect. Our Instagram at Too Many Words Podcast. Like and share.
How many new followers?
Oh, I'll get into that. Facebook, found on the Scaldstone Productions page. TikTok, also at Scaldstone Productions. And, of course, anything else, if I missed anything, everything can be found on thescaldstone.com, baby girls. Anyways, let's shout out our Instagram followers of the past week. We have 4 new followers. Let me go to the Instagram
I expected
app.
more, honestly.
We have 35 total followers.
Grow more every day, though.
All right, we have at Shelby Lynn _02. The E in Shelby's actually a 3 because she thinks she's cool. At Ursan.Muhammadajic. That's a guy in our friend group.
Mm-hmm.
I keep on doing that. So I guess that's great, I guess. At Sore Leave. Soren finally follows the podcast. You know, he's too close of a friend to take this long. What a bitch. This guy beat him. But he basically half of my life I've known this guy. It's actually really weird to think about.
That is.
But anyways, lastly, Nicole _Coates14, an old friend from TikTok. And that is the Instagram followers of this week. All right. Nate, who or what do you want to make this podcast episode out to?
Who? Oh, man, I don't know.
It can go to anybody or anything.
Literally anything.
Man.
Pretty sure someone made it out to Joe Biden once. I don't remember that.
Yeah, to Joe Biden. Oh, man, you know what? I'm gonna shout out my boy. All right? I'm gonna shout out my big boy. My thicker than a Snicker, Brandon King. All right, this one goes out to you, baby girl. I love you. All right, I love you. Stay thick. Yes, sir. You know what it is.
Sweet.
Isaac, who do you make this episode?
Do I make this podcast?
I think I interrupted Nate. Actually, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna keep going.
Okay. Yeah, you can
He
keep
was
going.
riffing.
You can keep going. I don't care.
Let's see. What did we talk about today? Oh, this podcast episode goes out to my new composition teacher because she my old one just got replaced today.
Is that the one that kept
Missing
disappearing?
classes? Yep.
Why?
So I have a new replaced teacher.
She hot?
Honestly, for her 50s, yes. Absolutely. And she's just as hot as her name. Dude, she's got a freaking cartoon character name. I'll just say her name after the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. It's probably not blast anybody.
But, yeah, this episode goes out to her. She, very different teaching style. That's going to be a hurdle to get over. But I'm at least glad that I've been told I'm going to have a teacher for every time I go to school now. So, Jordan, who or what do you want to make this podcast episode
I make
to?
this podcast out to In-N-Out Automotive and lubrication
This
experts.
dude.
Sweet.
This
Real quick,
All right.
real quick before we get into the final closer, I actually wanted to ask you, what is your favorite Linkin Park song?
My favorite Linkin Park song.
Because my favorite album of theirs is Hunting Party. It was a bit more metal heavy, and it was their modern metal heavy
Yeah.
album, and
Yeah.
I really like it. But,
Oh, man. Oh, dude.
I won't judge you if you
make me
if
want to
you,
ask him his favorite 3 Days Grace song.
Well, you can, but I won't judge you if you choose like an easy answer.
Linkin Park. It's
No.
What's that one song? It's
Why is everything so heavy?
Take your time to think about
it's,
it.
I have the melody in my head and I can't think.
Yeah,
of it.
don't worry. Take your time.
If
It's
you know
only
the album
end
it's
of the
off of.
episode.
I tell you when the end of the episode is. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, like I said, if you know what the album is, I could probably.
It's at the end of Transformers, like what?
Oh, that's New Divide.
No,
No, that's What I've Done. New Divide's the second Transformers song.
That one's probably my favorite.
What I've Done is very, very good.
I think so. And then 3 Days Grace. Oh, dude, I know exactly what it's like. What is that?
It's not too late. It's never
Yes,
too late.
yeah, never
That's
too
my
late.
favorite
Dude,
song too.
When I learned
Bro,
that, I was so excited to learn that on guitar. That's a good one.
Oh,
I
man.
love it. I love it.
That is an excellent choice.
Good. I'm glad.
That actually is his favorite song too, by the way.
I'm glad.
Well, anyways, you're listening to this right now. That means his song's out. Nate Baysinger, artist. That's his artist name. Pretty freaking easy to spell. Okay, Nate Baysinger on Spotify.
Surprisingly,
song Breaking Point.
Surprisingly, doesn't sing in Eddie Bays. But
I'm never coming here again.
All right, our closer is Amen on 3. Okay.
Okay.
you don't have to say if you don't want to. We won't judge you. But
We don't
like,
force religion down anybody's throats, but 1, 2, 3.
Amen.